Let's talk about the difference between Master of Paediatrics and MRCPCH. First, I think we touch about duration. Duration of the program, Master program is 4 years, and MRCPCH nowadays registered is 4 years lah. If less than 4 years, you cannot go for the gazettement. Alright, so both need to register. For master, you have to register under KKM HLP to get that scholarship, and then you will do the posting in the universities. Usually half lah. If you're under KKM, it's half. 2 years in universities, 2 years in KKM hospitals. But if you are private a candidate under university like USAM or any other universities, then you probably do 4 years in university like UM or UKM. While if for MRCPCH, you will do at your current hospital lah, which is wherever lah. So if 4 years there, you will basically stay 4 years at that hospital. Okay, so the exposure depends on which hospital you are attached to. If you are in the big hospital, you probably exposed in a lot of rotation in the KKM hospital. But if you're in the still tertiary center but have less subspecialty, you will probably not be exposed to a lot of rotation. So in terms of the rotation, if you do your master's program, you probably be more exposed. You have more exposure to certain rotation that certain hospital in KKN did not have. Alright, because subspecialty is good to have exposure to certain rotation, because you going to as general pediatrician, so if you haven't seen the case, you will probably have less exposure, probably cannot manage it pretty well compared to those who has been exposed before. Alright, so because the program already registered for 4 years for both of the masters and MRCPCH, the gazettement period is 6 months. This gazettement period is basically period you are basically get the P license lah. So after 6 months, then you consider, then can send the logbook and all that to be gazetted lah. But the more important thing here is the NSR. So NSR is basically after 1 year you starting your gazettement, then you can start registering for your NSR. So NSR is the most important thing to have lah, because that basically tell you are full license specialist. Alright, okay, so what else under masters? Masters, for sure you need to do thesis, then sometimes it can be published as well. But for MRCPCH, you not necessarily have to do thesis. You need certain papers like audit also is enough. But if you are keen to do research, I think that one is so encouraged. Alright, what about the course? In masters under HLP, hadiah latihan persekutuan, so it's a scholarship. The scholarship have probably 2 types. The full scholarship, where you get the gaji plus some extra allowance as well. But for most of the HLP is half, usually 2 years in campus, 2 years in KKM hospital. They only pay you your gaji and certain allowance like thesis allowance and book allowance, but you won't get extra allowance like living allowance and all that. For MRCPCH, the cost is entirely on your own. So but I think recent years the KKM will already introduce HLP for MRCPCH, so you can register for it lah, to basically to offset the cost, so you don't have to pay on your own. Because if you pay on your own, the cost probably to get all the 4 papers probably 15 to 20k. That one for the fee alone, not including the cost for the course that you attend, for mock exam that you attend. Okay, and then be mindful also, because that one the cost for single attempt. If you pass all your attempt, then that's it lah. If you fail, then you need to pay again for the repeat papers. Alright, that's probably the problem with the MRCPCH, the cost. Then it depends on the base of the exam you take. If you take the exam in the local center like in HKS, Remban or Ipoh, probably it costs less lah. But you can also take the MRCPCH Part 2 exam in London So that one also have to be included lah as part of your course. Alright. So the contract for masters is 5 to 9 years, depends on the type of HLP that you sign up for. And then for MRCPCH, if you pay on your own, there is no contract. So that's the best thing about MRCPCH. But if you have got HLP for your MRCPCH, then you probably still bounded by the contract lah with the KKM. Alright. So in the end, what about the courses itself? KKM, for the master program, is very structured. This has been going on for the past 30 to 40 years. So it is very established, very structured. So you go through the program, go through the exams, and then you have your lecturers to guide you and all that. You have your classes as well to guide you. So it's very structured. For those who not very good for self-directed learning, I advise you to take the masters, but because of the very structured program. Okay, but that one is not really 100% lah. So in the end, it depends on you as well. If you don't study, even though you are guided, you still cannot pass your exam. For MRCPCH, is very self-directed. You really have to study on your own. You go for your courses on your own, do the practice on your own with your friends and all that. So it really self-directed learning. Okay, so I think that probably cover the difference between master and MRCPCH. I might miss some, but you can ask in the comment. Alright, thank you.